that loss, and he captured the WBA welterweight crown. And that title is on the line tonight, but Ugas is the champion.
Watch your heads, watch your heads.
Few Philippine friends at that time. He's 42, and Pacquiao could fight forever. That's how much they love him in the Philippines.
He is absolutely beloved out there and around the world with fight fans. But right now, Mikael Spencer is looking to endear himself to the judges. And there's a nice straight left. I tell you what, that straight left has been finding a home for Mikael Spencer. And now the elbows are moving. Some big shots towards the tail of the fight. Spencer answers back with a counter left.
Oh, this is really turned into a good fight.
You see the Spencer family standing up, cheering on the 17-year-old.
Oh, and Joey's in the corner too.
Yeah, Joey is also in the corner along with his father. I'll say about Mikael Spencer is that he's got moxie, Felix. That is a word that I think fits him very well.
Yes, it does. Of course, he has to learn. He's coming in a little too open, but those are things that happen.
Oh, nice straight left, right on the jaw. That backed up Villalobos.
He knows what he's doing.
All right, he snouts back the head of Villalobos. Look at this excitement to end the fight. Oh, that ends the fight, and that was an entertaining matchup, Felix.
Definitely showing a lot. Spencer, we got to give credit also to Villalobos. I think we got to give this fight to Spencer, but we're going to see what the judges say. But he demonstrated a lot of skills in this four-rounder.
What I like about Spencer is that he gets a lot of leverage behind his shots. He's a free swinger. He likes to slug, and I like the fact that he stays in the pocket a little bit longer than what you would hope, but he does it because he feels like he can get the better of the exchanges.
And he has the speed to just come out again whenever he wants. So there's a lot of future in this kid.
And we're just getting started. This is the appetizer for the pay-per-view that comes your way at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific time. A jam-packed 4 fights. And, you got Mark Pacquiao, Julio Ceja, the Mexico against the Philippine rivalry. You and I have been a part and have witnessed some of those, and they're always memorable confrontations.
Definitely. It's used to be Mexico and Puerto Rico. I think it's shifted a little bit to Philippines and Mexico now, just because of these great fighters and the ones we're seeing tonight. It just adds to that.
All right, Julio Ceja, former world champion at 122, coming back to the ring. He feels like he can knock out one Mark Pacquiao. But who is going to take home the win between Mikael Spencer and Eliseo Villalobos? Miguel Flores has the decision.
For your winner by unanimous decision, Mikael Spencer.
So Mikael Spencer, welcome to the professional ranks, the adopted brother of Joey Spencer. And you know what? He was exciting. He was exciting and he was entertaining.
Yeah. I think we're definitely going to see more of Villalobos. He was also game, his first fight here in the U.S. So we got to see a little more than him. He was taking some good punches from Spencer. But again, like you said, Spencer has a lot to show. Congratulations to him and his family. We're going to see him soon.
And also, he's unorthodox because he was switching so many times, Felix, and he was sitting down in his punches, moving his head, throwing punches from a variety of different angles. I thought he was wickedly entertaining.
It's like a fruit that's still green that you don't know what stance you really like. But that'll come for him.
Hey, look, a pro debut in Las Vegas. Could it get any better aside from a knockout victory for him?
No, exactly. This is what he wanted. This is what his family wanted tonight.
And this is what we want. We want Manny Pacquiao, your Dennis Ugas, coming up in under an hour live on Fox Sports PBC pay-per-view. You can buy it now on the Fox Sports app or foxsports.com and watch it on any screen that you want. Well, Manny Pacquiao and your Dennis Ugas will step inside the ring and fight for the welterweight championship of the world. Yesterday, they had the official weigh-in with the final stare down, and here is a look at what transpired. All right, so we go ahead and cut off the interview with Manny Pacquiao because in the ring right now we got Dato and Angel Contreras. Felix, by the way, a very good job on the translating. I know that is not an easy job. I had to do that on Wednesday for the press conference, but you did a phenomenal job.
No, thank you, Ray. I appreciate it. Yeah, sometimes when you're there with the boxer, it's a little tough. We have in the Spanish language a lot of dialects too, so it gets interesting. It's fun.
Well, Ugas certainly very focused and determined, but also right now we shift our attention to John Dato and Angel Contreras. Dato is undefeated, looking to continue in his winning ways as he takes on the very tough and durable Angel Contreras. With the introductions, here is our ring announcer, Miguel Flores.
Ladies and gentlemen, we continue the action from T-Mobile Arena. Once again, it is all brought to you by TGB Promotions and MP Promotions, sponsored by DraftKings Sportsbook. Our three judges ringside are Patricia Morse-Jarman, Max DeLuca, and Dave Morietti. The referee in charge of the action is Robert Hoyle. This next bout will be 8 rounds in the featherweight division. Introducing first in the red corner wearing the blue trunks, he weighed in at 127 pounds. With 10 victories, 6 coming by way of knockout, opposite of 4 defeats and 2 draws. Fighting out of Monterrey, Nuevo León, Mexico, presenting Angel Contreras. And now across the ring in the blue corner, wearing the Filipino flag, he weighed in at 125.6 pounds. His record, 14 victories, 9 coming by way of knockout, no defeats, and 1 draw. Fighting out of Bengar, Philippines, presenting John the Lion Dato.
Ayan, shoutout po sa lahat ng nandyan sa baba. Ayan. Fight undercard lang po yung ating pinapakita sa ngayon. Ayan, salamat sa inyo dyan.
All right, so it's John Dato and Angel Contreras. Robert Hoyle referee in charge. Dato is undefeated, 20 years of age, who lives in Santa Maria, California, but originally from the Philippines. And just to give you an idea of how pro-Pacquiao this crowd is, when the introductions were announced for John Dato, this place came alive. I see Filipino flags, you see Filipino colors. This is a heavy Manny Pacquiao crowd, which doesn't surprise me.
No, that's right, Ray. And we still have people filing in, of course. The pay-per-view will come shortly. And
ayan, so lumalaban po ngayon ay
Filipino right now.
In under an hour, we go live on pay-per-view. Buy it now on the Fox Sports app. But also, I will say,
shoutout po sa inyo lahat dyan. Thank you.
Fans that are going to come out and support your Dennis Ugas. Ugas said that he is fighting for his country, Cuba, and for the freedoms that they are doing. You know, they're fighting for their freedom down in Cuba, and he's fighting for all of the Cuban people. And he knows how significant this fight is, as the entire country will be behind your Dennis Ugas. But right now, John Dato letting his hands go.
The Lion, that's his nickname, and he's shown so far that he's a lion here. John Dato.
This is his 5th 6-round fight. Or this is an 8-round fight, stand corrected. Previous to that, he had 5 straight 6-round affairs. He went 4-0 over the course of that process. I think they changed it from a 6-2 and 8. That's exactly why we had missed that distinction.
So the nickname of Dato is the Lion, and Antonio Contreras is Cachorro, which means cub. So, is that your favorite team over there, Chicago, or the White Sox?
No, I'm a White Sox fan, and thankfully that is the case. But we have plenty of home run hitters, and we'll see if John Dato can be a home run hitter here tonight against Angel Contreras.
The second time he's fighting under a Manny Pacquiao card. Last time he scored a KO over Juan Antonio Lopez.
Now, that was on the undercard of Pacquiao and Thurman. That was the last time we saw Manny Pacquiao in the ring 25 months ago, under a minute to go here in this first round. So far, Felix getting the action started. We appreciate all of you joining us wherever you are around the world here on the PBC on Fox YouTube page. We appreciate the support and you following events of this magnitude as we near the home stretch of the summer a riveting summer. It's been a weird summer with fights, falling out due to COVID and, injuries taking place. But you know what? We got Manny Pacquiao, your Dennis Ugas, welterweight championship of the world. Big fight in Las Vegas. It's great to be back, Felix.
Just like in real life, COVID has affected a couple of things, but we're going to have this fight tonight. It's going to go underway in a few minutes or in a few hours, the pay-per-view. And everybody's getting set for this fight. And in regards to Dato, we're getting a lot of tweets from the Philippines. They're excited about John, the Lion. So they could only get more excited for Pacquiao.
Well, I'm sure they're going to get excited also for Mark Magsayo, Julio Ceja. Magsayo unbeaten at 26 years of age. That ends the first.
So it's for the WBA World Welterweight title, 12 rounds. Pacquiao against Ugas. I mean, a lot of people forget Porter and Ugas was a great fight.
It was a close fight. It could have gone either way.
So when you have Ugas fighting like that with Porter, what can you expect tonight against Pacquiao? Probably the same.
Well, I think the key is for Dennis Ugas is he has got to be able to let his hands go a little bit more, because you know that Manny Pacquiao is going to bring high volume and heavy work rate.
And seeing Pacquiao all through the years, he really gets excited with the crowd. Like we mentioned right now,
Mega love shout out to
Filipino
everyone.
crowd for Pacquiao going
Thank
to
you
Pacquiao.
for
Might be
coming.
his last fight, so everybody wanted to be here tonight. It's going to be a hell of a fight.
And do you want to be able to say, I saw Manny Pacquiao in his final fight. You don't want to say, I missed it.
Yes.
Because watching what Manny Pacquiao's been able to do, as we're into round number 2, this one's scheduled for 8 between John Dato and Angel Contreras. As I was doing research for tonight's event, I saw that Manny Pacquiao was the co-main event of our colleague Lennox Lewis and Mike Tyson. And that was over 20 years ago. That just goes to show you how long he's been, over 25 years as a prize fighter. But that just goes to show you the staying power of one Manny Pacquiao. But right now, John Dato unloading heavy combinations towards Angel Contreras.
Contreras coming back too, throwing a nice little left hook.
John Dato looking to make a statement here tonight.
Maybe an inch taller is Contreras here against Dato.
Contreras 0-2 in his last 3 fights, but he was competitive in all 3. He pushed 8-0 prospect Jalan Walker to the limit. He earned a 6-round split draw. So you see this in boxing circles. He provides professional resistance is what he does.
That's a nice way to put it, professional resistance, meaning that he's going to give you a great fight. Is he the top fighter? No, but Dato is of what he's showing now.
But Dato is, when he lets his hands go, he's extremely quick. His hand speed is apparent. He's got power. And when it comes to the speed and the tenacity that Dato exhibits, I mean, it doesn't surprise me that he's managed by Leo Santa Cruz.
Yeah. A big tradition we're seeing. We saw Casimiro last week. Now we're seeing Dato here. We're going to see Magsayo a little later. So a nice stable of Philippine fighters coming up.
No question about it. And also, co-main event tonight, Robert Guerrero, Victor Ortiz. Talk about a throwback fight.
I think Ortiz is going to be ready for this fight.
Well, he's been working with Freddie Roach for the past 2 years. We last saw Victor Ortiz 2.5 years ago against Devin Alexander. For Robert Guerrero, he's coming off of nearly a 2-year layoff as well. Obviously, over a year of that due to COVID-19, and neither man fought in those quote-unquote bubble life scenarios.
In Guerrero's case, he's healed up.
Big right hand, though, by Contreras.
So it gives you time to heal, and that's why we're going to see a great fight between Guerrero and Ortiz.
Well, if it's any indication thus far what we've seen tonight, our previous 2 fights have been action-packed, and this one is following suit.
You have one thing. You don't want, after the fight is over, saying, oh, your fight was the only dud here. 3 great fights, and you were the bad one. So everybody's psyched to have a great fight.
Well, and then also, coming up, the first pay-per-view fight, it'll feature Oscar Escandon. So he will be in the first prelim fight, or the first pay-per-view fight against Carlos Castro, who's undefeated 26-0. So Oscar Escandon, another guy, former title challenger, who can make you fight.
Oh, that's one tough hombre out of Colombia. Escandon, he's not the biggest man in the world height-wise, but he definitely has power. So I'm excited to see that one against Castro. Castro hasn't been defeated, 26-0. This Gandona has fought a lot of good fighters. Russell Jr., just to name a couple.
Yeah, Tuxtli Mayambayar as well.
So he's been there with the best. Let's see what Castro has to offer in that first fight that we're going to see on the pay-per-view. It's a featherweight 10-rounder. Then you have the Mansayo against the Ceja fight, Ortiz Guerrero, and of course the big one, Pacquiao against Ugas.
Well, there is a thought process that one, especially Mansai and Ceja, could steal the night because Ceja, from what I have heard, they said that he's extremely focused heading into this fight and that he's grown exponentially since now being under the guidance of Ismael Salas, who incidentally will be the lead trainer for your Dennis Ugas when he makes his walk to the ring tonight against Manny Pacquiao.
And you know Salas wants to give Freddie Roach a little taste of what could be coming up in the main event. So both of these fighters are going to be ready.
Yeah, two high-level trainers in Freddie Roach and one Ismael Salas. There's an overhand right for Dato. Dato is 28 years of age. There's an overhand right that sprays Contreras.
I'm not going to say who told me this yesterday, Ray, but they said that they're going to attack that midsection of Pacquiao, that it looked a little soft and old. Did you see it that way?
Was he as ripped and shredded as we have been accustomed to? No, but he's also 42 years of age. He's going to be 43 in December. The fact that he's still fighting at this level is just on a different planet. Down goes, my goodness, down goes Dato.
Whoa.
No.
Unexpected here. The big favorite goes down, and he's dazed.
What a turn of events here as Contreras has put down John Dato.
Oh, and he can feel it now. He's going for it.
John Dato in some trouble. Could an upset be brewing here in Las Vegas? The one thing about Dato, he stayed in the pocket too long and he paid a big price.
Yeah, and he's still in there. You think he would take a breather for a couple of seconds. That's not the case. Stars are lining up there. We see the great Joe Goose and Brian Kenny getting ready for the pay-per-view.
Dato, he's got bruises outside of on his right cheek. A little bit of blood as well. He got lit up by Angel Contreras.
I don't think he expected this kind of brawl, but it's happening now.
But now look at Dato go. He's attacking the body of the Filipino fans, voicing their support of John Dato.
There he goes. Now he looks like he's totally recuperated. But he was in bad shape about 30 seconds ago.
We'll take a look back at that in between rounds. But this is a big round for Angel Contreras, and his confidence is soaring. There's a right hand that connected for Contreras.
Oh, yeah.
Nice combination there, Contreras.
That little
right eye looked like it might be closing. So Contreras right on top of him. He feels this fight.
Considerable swelling on the right side of the face of John Dato, followed by blood streaming from his nose.
Yeah.
This has been a high-contact, very physical affair between Contreras and Dato.
Nice.
Big round for Contreras.
He mentioned 6 knockouts in his 10 wins from Monterrey, Mexico. He does as they tell him in the corner there. Listen to me. Don't get all crazy. You still have a great fighter in front of you. Keep working the lower body. And then you'll get him upstairs. So that's what the corner is telling Contreras here.
Let's go back and take a look at the knockdown for Contreras.
So he comes in. He came in too soon, and Contreras took advantage of it and came the uppercut right there. Dazed him for a while. I mean, that has to be a 10-8 round.
And that was precise, Felix. That was precise. That was accurate. It was a sharp, short right uppercut right on the inside and landed right on the button, and Dato never saw it coming.
Nope.
And now Dato is having to deal with adversity for the first time in his professional career, as Dato is coming off of a win. The last time we saw him, December 13, 2019, before the pandemic, a knockout win over David Godinez.
Oh.
And there is a belief in the corner of Angel Contreras that
may
he
tama
could
yung ilong ng
really
Pinoy.
attain this upset, and it was even furthered with that knockdown of Dato in the third round.
Yeah, Dato at least has to do the same damage, which Contreras' defense is avoiding that, although Dato is turning it on a bit here. So his corner was very animate. They think they can win this fight.
We are into round number 4. This one's scheduled for 8. Ray Flores, Felix DeJesus here. It is the prelims of Pacquiao and Ugas. We go live on pay-per-view in just over 40 minutes. Make sure that you join us in what could be Manny Pacquiao's final fight. Will Pacquiao once again recapture his welterweight championship, or will your Dennis Ugas pull the upset as he is a sizable underdog heading into tonight's main event?
He did a great job there in the fight was looking really, really bad. The swelling went down a bit.
It is important to, as a prize fighter, to have a quality cut man. I think one of the best cut men in the business, Mike Rodriguez.
Oh, of course.
And it's almost one of those things that you want to have a quality cut man in your corner as an insurance policy, just in case you need it, because how many get the victory, thus changing the trajectory of their career?
Even with bad cuts, they are able to revive the boxer sort of in the corner. And again, kudos to the job they did for Dato. Let's see if it translates to some good job here in this round.
Well, Dato is slowing down a little bit, but nonetheless, we have seen a compelling matchup. And now Contreras sort of very nonchalantly, he had his hands by his side.
Yeah, a lot of confidence now by Contreras. He feels like Dato can't hurt him.
Well, the last time that Contreras won was back on October 30th, a third-round technical knockout win over a local journeyman, quote-unquote. But I will say that, one, Contreras looks terrific thus far. You would never think that he is just a quote-unquote a high-level, professional opponent.
On boxing, a punch could change a fight. That could happen tonight in any of the fights for the pay-per-view. That's what boxing is.
And Contreras saying, come on, bring it. Let's go. Well, you know what we got to go to, Felix? Stay right here. But go to your fridge, get your favorite beverage of choice, get your food, and get ready for 4 fights on the pay-per-view headline by Manny Pacquiao against your Dennis Ugas fight now on the Fox Sports app and watch it on any screen that you want.
There's a champion behind you.
What do we got? Oh, yeah, the great Julio Cesar Chavez, El Gran Campeón Mexicano here joining us.
So all the stars are coming out tonight here.
I don't know if you saw, Felix, but there was a moment there was certainly a moment where, they were Pacquiao went over to see Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. and they embraced. I mean, talk about a moment there when Pacquiao and Chavez talking, and Chavez was so excited to see Pacquiao. Just goes to show you what Manny Pacquiao means in the sport of boxing.
Yeah, legends stick together. That's where Ugas wants to be tonight if he beats Pacquiao. And it's a tight group of just fighters that have always come to fight.
And speaking of coming to fight, Angel Contreras has come to fight against John Dato, as has Dato. Dato looking to remain undefeated. He's 14-0 with 1 draw. Contreras 10-4-2. And also, Felix, I mean, we appreciate every single one of you joining us here on our PBC, on Fox prelim portion here on YouTube and Facebook. Thank you so much for supporting the sport of boxing. Without you, none of this would be possible. So thank you for your support and your passion for the sport of boxing.
Definitely. Totally agree with that. Dato has shown a little more, but again, it's Contreras who's staying steady in this fight. And for Dato, I mean, this is big. This is big. It's basically Manny Pacquiao's night, and if he loses, it'll be a blow.
Yeah, you don't want to start off the night. I mean, the Filipinos, especially, I mean, they are very proud of where they come from and representing their country. You don't want to start off the night with Manny Pacquiao on a sour note, losing for your country. They are very aware of that. They take their nationalistic pride to heart.
Yep. So Dato trying to step it up. He knows the importance of him coming up ahead, but Contreras will have none of that. He's on top of him
Wala
all the
masyadong
time.
galaw kasi yung...
And again, Felix, it is a matchup between Mexico and the Philippines, and we are seeing,
May
you know,
sugat na pte.
action in this fight. I mean, that's pretty much the DNA of that rivalry.
Kaya magana
Wow.
ang mukha niya.
Surprised of the night so far has been Contreras. I didn't expect him to be so game for tonight.
Well, he looks in very good physical shape. I mean, this is probably the best that we have heard Contreras look. There's a right hand for Dato. Certainly catching the attention of Contreras, a left hook. And anytime Dato strings together and puts together punches, you hear the Filipino fans start to make quite a bit of noise.
Yes. He did put a nice little combination there. But Contreras is still on top of him.
And chants of Dato that are echoing here at T-Mobile Arena, but Contreras just ripped off a three-punch combination.
He definitely slowed him down when he knocked him out. What knocked him down with the uppercut. And it takes a while. It takes, you know, a few minutes for you to get back to the boxing style that you trained all these months for this fight.
Dato still bleeding from his nose. His trunks have been decorated in some of the blood from his nose, largely in part to those right hands from Contreras.
You look at that record, 10-4-2, and you're like, journeyman, but journeyman no more.
No, he's a journeyman that can fight.
Yeah.
And they both continue to fight to the end of the fifth.
Hihina din yan.
Tell you this, whatever happens in this fight, nobody's going to want to fight Angel Contreras. They're going to be in for a war. The corner telling him the right thing. The fight is nice and tight. It's nice and close. You need to start maintaining the pressure. You want to win? Or you just want to be part of the show? Then he's waiting too much. This is from Contreras' corner.
So yung pinapanood po natin ay undercard lang.
He's giving you signals. He's breathing deep, breathing
Baka
hard.
natin mapanood yung
So
mismong
his corner
laban
telling him the right things. Because Contreras did slow down a bit in that last round.
They are
Kaya natin
chastising
pahantayin
him.
ng
Like literally.
Yeah.
mamaya pa po yun.
Waiting for a slap here in any minute.
Seriously. Undercard eh.
I almost felt like I was watching someone in the principal's office.
He got chewed out.
Yeah, literally. And that's that he has a knockdown in the third round. But that just goes to show you that the belief is that Angel Contreras can win this fight and upset one, John Dato.
He has a couple of more rounds to go. There we go.
Well, Dato started off in the first couple rounds, and he was really letting his hands go. He was applying the pressure, and since that knockdown, he hasn't been as active and as aggressive. And you could attribute it to the fact that he might be a little bit reluctant to, quote unquote, pull the trigger, Felix.
Yeah, I don't think he wants to go in. If he does, he has to show that Contreras is a little hurt because he got caught with that hook and with that uppercut, and he's maintaining his distance.
Well, and I'm not a doctor by any stretch of the imagination, but the blood continues to stream from the nose of Dato. Do you think it could be broken, Felix?
Yeah, I think that
Wala
at least
bang.
the orbital might be severely damaged.
Wala
if
yung
not broken.
uppercut na yun.
Because the blood is streaming with frequency. It's not a ton, but it is enough to just continue to leak. And he's got a cut outside of above his left eye as well.
Yeah, so you don't know if that's coming from the inner eye. Oh, he almost went down again. Contreras is just on top of him, Ray. So that might come from either a little vein that's flowing through the nose. Something's happening where it's just a nice flow coming out, or a steady flow.
Well, it's one of those items when you have a fighter from Mexico against a fighter from the Philippines, you can pretty much throw out the records because they're going to fight in a phone booth, essentially.
That's right. And then Contreras just keeping up with the tradition. I am sure Dato did not expect this kind of fight.
Well, I mean, he started off strong, and then Contreras really, with that right uppercut, and also the fact that Contreras has been able and was able to withstand the early bigger shots from Dato.
Salamat.
Could be very close. Losing his first fight. He has to step it up because Contreras so far is winning this fight. from my perspective, the judges might have something different.
Well, I think Dato needs something big as you look towards round 7 and 8, because Contreras, to me, is landing the cleaner punches, especially here in the 6th round. You couple that with a 10-8 round, and I would give the edge to Juan Contreras.
Yes, and I think that the anxiety in the corner of them pressing him is because they didn't think they were going to win. And they're seeing the opportunity now.
Well, it is within grasp, that's for sure. But Dato is undefeated. He hasn't been in the ring since December of 2019, so the ring rust might be a factor. That's a nice right hand to punctuate the 6th for Contreras.
Nako. Last 2 rounds.
Nice finish to that round by Contreras. The corner is still yapping away. Oh, they can feel it, Ray. I've seen this a million times. They can feel it, that if they can keep their boxers for 2 more rounds going nice, the way Contreras is doing in 7 and 8, they can feel the victory. And again, he wins this fight. That puts him in another level. He goes, they're not going to take this fight away from you. Show them that you can. He said they're going to take the fight away. You got to show more.
You would think that Contreras is the one that is behind the scorecards and that he needs a knockout compared to that of Dato.
Exactly. That corner is really doing a job, but it's keeping him fighting. Some fighters need that.
Well, I mean, it's working because Contreras has really...
I think you need to turn around to, what fight are you seeing? I think I'm looking at this fight.
Well, I mean, but that kind of call and sense of urgency, I think, is helping to let Contreras know you got to fight for the full 3 minutes over the course of this 8-round fight. You need to fight hard for 24 minutes and do not let this guy off the hook.
Yes, I think that's the game plan, and he's showing it.
Especially with the fact that Contreras is winless in his last 3 fights. 0-2-1 over the course of that time period.
It's unbelievable the way he's fighting tonight, that he can have that kind of record in his last 3 fights. But I would go back and see the opponents, because he's showing a lot tonight.
It could be a case as well, Felix, that he might not have gotten up for those previous opponents. And when you look at a guy like Dato, who's undefeated from the Philippines, who has spent some time, doing some conditioning work with Manny Pacquiao, that, look, you know what? I'm going to surprise this guy. I'm going to come in the best shape of my life and put on the performance of my life.
Nice combination there by Contreras. Dato holding on. And it's just the event. You're here. You're in Vegas. You're under the Pacquiao Ugas fight. You might.
Nice right uppercut there by Contreras, and backpedaling is Dato. Dato might have gotten hurt. That right uppercut hurt Dato, and he was backpedaling for a couple of moments, Felix.
He knows the world is watching Contreras in this big fight, and he's demonstrating it so far. And there, another combination. Oh, wow.
Oh, there's a nice left hook to the body by Contreras.
Dato is definitely slowed down a bit.
And Dato, his face is starting to show even more signs of wear and tear. Blood continues to flow from the nose. It's now flowing with more frequency here in the 7th round.
He's had a lot of pride, and I don't know if Dato wants to go back into the where all the fighters are at and have Pacquiao take a look at him, because definitely a downer for Dato.
Well, Contreras has certainly silenced the Filipinos that are in attendance here with his work rate and the fact that he's getting the better of the exchanges with landing the bigger shots.
Must be cheering in Monterrey, Mexico, after seeing the job so far, and anything can happen in boxing, that Contreras is doing.
Well, John Dato's undefeated record hangs in the balance, under 30 seconds to go. And don't forget, we are under a half hour away until we go live on pay-per-view with Manny Pacquiao, Yordenis Ugas. We have Robert Guerrero, Vicious Victor Ortiz, an old school fight in the co-main event, a 10-round matchup, and expect a lot of slugging in that one, Felix.
Definitely. What a night so far. Fox also had some good fights. The fights here on social media have been great.
Frank Martin picking up a win over Ryan Kilzaski by unanimous decision. Someone to look out for at 135.
Martin Valenzuela might be a good one. Valenzuela showed a victory over Strayhorn, who was game. So Valenzuela just too much.
Salang ng Pinoy.
So, and then Torres, the big guy,
Sana maka-upset pa.
6'7", beat Justin Roth. So this is just a little appetizers. Wet the peak a little bit for tonight, the fights that are starting.
And look, the fight on the undercard, obviously, I like all of them, but the really appetizing one, the mouth-watering one to me is Mark Magsayo and Julio Ceja. Again, we see the Mexico against the Filipino rivalry, but it is the first fight of the night that will feature Freddie Roach against Ismael Salas, as Salas has Ceja, the Mexican, and also Freddie Roach has Magsayo, the Filipino.
Oh, and now is there more pressure on Magsayo after the showing here of Dato with Contreras? If he holds on these 3 rounds, he might get the decision. So very interesting what's coming up here tonight.
And Mark Magsayo has been working with Freddie Roach for about a year's time now, and they feel that Magsayo is ready to make that move. They believe, Manny Pacman Promotions, they feel that Magsayo could be very special. And if he's successful against Julio Ceja, then he will punch his ticket to being the #1 contender for the WBC featherweight crown, currently held by Gary Russell Jr. But now we are into the 8th round. Ray Forrest Felix de Jesus. John Dato, they're coming out strong now, and now he's got Contreras backwards. Look at how the tide changes. Dato, his face is a bloody mess. He's taken several big shots. There's a left hook that connects, and the Filipino fans making some noise now.
Yeah, he's come alive here in this last round. He needs a knockout, I think. Let's see. He's putting a lot of pressure. Still Contreras trying to keep him away with the jab. Oh, nice uppercut there.
Look at this exchange. They both have been exchanging savagely here in the 8th round.
They know the importance of this fight for both fighters. Dato looking to stay on the winning streak.
This is the kind of fight. Oh, big shot over the top, on the top of the head of Contreras. I wish this was a 10 or 12 round fight instead of an 8 round fight.
Yes.
That put to the body by Dato.
I think Contreras can feel it.
Fights tonight with Manny Pacquiao, your Dennis Ugas. This card is certainly entertaining, and you will enjoy what you see, because these guys are going to bring in all 8 fighters on our pay-per-view portion.
All 4 fights are great. They'll be good fights.
John Dato, we'll see if he can dig deep. Can he have one last burst? Oh, it's a big right hand as he gets lit up from Contreras.
Now he's just trying some haymakers here. And Contreras' game plan is just to keep attacking, and he's done it. He's done it all night.
10 seconds.
Oh, man.
They go toe-to-toe to end the fight. Fantastic matchup here tonight between Angel Contreras and John Dato.
Now the trainer's saying, we won. After telling him for like 5 rounds that
well, now he's happy because he saw his father go out there and do what he asked him to do.
Did his job. Dato, I don't know if that left eye or that right eye affected him for most of the fight, but what a showing by this kid Contreras.
He could be in line for the biggest win of his professional career. There is a great deal of excitement behind John Dato, or behind Angel Contreras. For John Dato, they are concerned, obviously, because his undefeated record hangs in the balance. Felix, I thought Contreras pulled out the win.
I think Contreras did win. We'll wait for the judges.
Thank you for
the more damaged fighter is Dato. Probably broken nose or bone. So we'll see what happens.
Well, it's, what did they say? It was from the movie 300. Felix, are you not entertained? Because that was an entertaining 8-round lightweight affair.
No, definitely. If we see here, this is a little more than 300 for both of their careers. But Contreras, I mean, He did nothing wrong in this fight to lose it. He did what he had to do.
And you know what? John Dato showed that he could take and come back after being knocked down. He was knocked down in the third round from that right uppercut. And he had Contreras hurt in the beginning of the 8th round, but he didn't have enough to be able to put down Contreras.
Yeah, I mean, Dato, I think it's in serious jeopardy. Let's put it that way. His non-losing streak, or never lost. We'll see.
Well, we will see how the judges have this verdict rendered, as now we send it up to our ring announcer. Here is Miguel Flores.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 8 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecards. Judge Max DeLuca saw it 78-73, and judges Patricia Morse-Jarman and Judge Dave Moretti both saw it 77-74. All three in agreement for your winner by unanimous decision, Angel Contreras.
So Angel Contreras upsets John Dato, and that is the biggest win of his professional career. What a moment for the Monterrey, Mexico native.
His corner is going crazy right now. They didn't expect this. It happened. A lot of guts shown by Contreras, and he gets the victory, and this will hopefully get him better things, better fights.
Still to come. Go ahead and check out the Fox Sports app and order Manny Pacquiao, your Dennis Ugas. Felix final thoughts as we get ready. Will this be Manny Pacquiao's final fight as he takes on your Dennis Ugas?
It could be. Could be. You got to watch. You got to watch to see if it is. That's all I can say.
Also, your Dennis Ugas, he is a heavy underdog, but I think he will give a very good account of himself and will bring his best tonight. But will it be enough to knock out the 8th Division World Champion?
I don't think so. I don't think so. That's not happening. We're seeing a decision today.
So you think unanimous decision for Manny Pacquiao?
A tight one. I just got to see the fight.
You think it's a close fight? I think we get a close fight as well. I do not believe this will be Manny Pacquiao's final fight, but I think we get a riveting matchup between Manny Pacquiao, your Dennis Ugas, Robert Guerrero, Vicious Victor Ortiz. Also, Mark Magsayo matches up against Julio Ceja. So don't forget to join us at the top of the hour. On behalf of Felix De Jesus, I'm Ray Forrest. Thank you so much for joining us for the prelim portion here at T-Mobile in Las Vegas. Fight night is moments away. Manny Pacquiao, your Dennis Ugas from Las Vegas. We'll see you in less than 20.
Ayan. Sandali lang po ha. Mukhang nawala yata tayo sa ano. Sandali lang, tatanggalin ko lang muna ha. Hello po, wait lang po. Nawala tayo sa live. Ano lang po. Ayan, shoutout po sa inyong lahat dyan. Ayan, salamat po. Sandali lang po. Nawala tayo dun sa ating live. Naputol tayo doon. Shoutout po sa lahat ng nandyan. Pasensya na po. Ayan. Sila mismo ang huminto pala. Kahit sa ano. Hininto nila. Ano ba yun? Bakit naman? Hindi pa po. Hindi pa naglalaro si Magsayo. Meron pang isa tapos si Magsayo ang susunod. Ayan. Boss, wala po ba? Wala po video mo. Ayan. Oo, nawala. Tinanggal nila. Ano lang ha, hanapin ko lang sandali. Kahit ano nawala. Ayan, pasensya na po. Mukhang tinanggal nila. Ayan. Mamaya-maya pa po si Magsayo. Ayan. Meron pang isa tapos si Magsayo ang susunod. Yun ang magandang laban. Yung unang kababayan natin ay natalo po via unanimous decision. Ayan. Kasi napabagsak siya dun sa third round. Sayang, pero okay lang. Ayun, sa mga gusto magdikitan dyan, gusto nyo po magdikitan muna dyan. Ayan. Ayan, nagbaba ng bahay si Sir Franz Light. Ayan. Shoutout sa'yo, sir. Ayan. Hanapin lang muna natin yung ating live. Sandali lang. Mukhang talagang kinat nila. Pero naka-live pa rin sila eh. Sayang. Mukhang ayaw nila ipalabas. Siyempre, may bayad naman ikayan. Ayan, pag hindi tayo, Paano makapanood ng live? Ayan, wala video. Salamat sa pag-share. Ayan. Merong undercard. Ayan, boss. Ito po yung pinapanood natin, undercard. Kaso nga lang, mukhang tinanggal nila yung live nila. Pero meron silang dito. Dahil baka na-detect. Pinapalabas nila is behind the scene lang. Yung mismong laban undercard na lang ayaw pang ipaano. Paano makapanood ng live? Ayan. Ang mapapanood po talaga natin dyan is yung na lang, delayed telecast. Pero sa radyo po, kung gusto niyo pong makinig sa radyo, DCWB, ayan. Doon po talagang yan. Live yun kahit kay Pacquiao. Pero mami, hindi. Kasi pagka ganitong pay-per-view, mahirapan talaga tayo makakuha ng live. Maliban na lang kung ikaw ay nagbayad talaga. Pinapakita po nila dito ngayon is yung tawag dito. Behind the scene.